Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. Gonna wait for some folks to come in, make sure that I am on all of my streaming platforms before we get started. Maybe, let's check. Make sure we're muted there. We've got a live chat going on. Oop. That's Luna in the background. Perfect. I think we're good. I think we got everything. I think we got everything, and I'm streaming where I'm supposed to be streaming. Super cool. Let me see if we can invite some folks in, because I know this is very much an impromptu, and I usually don't go live except on Wednesdays, but it's full moon. So I'm not sure if we can invite people in. Maybe. I don't know if I can or not. Hey, Jane's here. I'm trying to figure out if I can invite some more people in, but I don't know if I can invite people into the live. I don't think so. That was me. There you go. Hey, Charlotte. Yeah. She's probably asleep, actually. So happy full moon, everyone. I did tag some folks, so hopefully they'll come in and yeah, tag a few folks if you can. Let me see if I can tag a few. I know it's oh my god, this thing. There you go. I tagged Charlotte on it. But I did tag some folks. Yeah, if you guys want to tag some, that'll be fine. So how was WitchCon? It's full moon, so I decided I'm gonna go live on full moon and see how, talk a little bit about full moon, pull some cards, talk about spiritual businesses, just really sit and talk about what's going on. I'm still recovering from from WitchCon. I was still a little bit tired for WitchCon, but it's okay. That's what happens. It's great. I already signed up for next year too, so I got my application in for next year, so I'm gonna be doing that again next year. That's one of my favorite ones. WitchCon is always so cool, and hanging out with everybody in the You should. You should. What would you like to present on? I'm drinking coffee, by the way. My morning coffee. I don't get up till like 9. So you guys get to see me early morning. So yeah, I don't get up till around 9. Tea magic. Oh, that would be great. Yeah, you should. Yeah, ask Christian. I wanted to go to Hex Fest this year. Um, I don't know, maybe might be able to pull it off, but dang, you should. I think that'd be cool. Um, it's just a long ways for me to drive. I would have to fly. And I was thinking about that. I was like, how am I going to pack everything that I want in a suitcase? Right? Just one suitcase. But I kind of wish that I want to actually have time to enjoy Hex Fest instead of like presenting at Hex Fest. Um, And yeah, exactly. New Orleans, I mean, August in New Orleans is just unbearable. And when you go to New Orleans, you want to be able to go outside and experience New Orleans outside instead of staying all, in the hotel the entire time, which is probably what I have to do. So, and even at night, it's still hot as hell in New Orleans in August. Hot and humid. So, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to wear all my cool witchy stuff because by the time you get everything done and all your cool garb out, it's like black and it's hot, and you're like, oh my god, I just can't. But yeah, which con has been on, not which con, but Hex Fest has been on my list to do for a very long time. It's just being in New Orleans in August is blah 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 blah. I hate it. It's not my favorite. I gotta go back and I gotta actually finish watching some of the presenters. You might hear my dog bark. The maid's out there cleaning, so um, I want to go to, but yeah, I know it's tough. I know me and my sister are planning a trip to Salem next year for my birthday, so we're in the busy stages of doing that, and I already contacted um, Christian about renting his Airbnb, so we might do that. We're gonna stay at some haunted hotels, and oh, that's the Gore Museum calling me. I'm a docent at the Gore Museum, right? So they're probably calling me about hosting another paranormal event, but I'll get to them later. So let's go ahead and talk about the full moon. What did you guys do on the full moon? I know the Airbnb is fabulous, isn't it? Freaking fabulous. I watched him from the beginning to the end to put that together. He's such an amazing it's an eye for stuff. You need to come see me. You're not that far from me. I'm thinking about putting on another witchy weekend like I did before. I'm looking at Airbnbs here in St. Joe, and it's going to be a smaller group because, of course, Luna's going to start coughing. Come here, TT. She has this collapsed trachea and she coughs. It doesn't matter how much medicine we put her on her. Because the vet's like, I don't want to put her on too much steroids, which I get that. Um, I need to find a place where I can bring the dogs. I know. I was gonna say you could bring the dogs here and put them in my house, but I don't have a fenced-in yard. You have to get a dog sitter. Right. Yeah, she did really well when she lost some weight on it, and but now she's gained a little bit of her weight back, so um it's coming back. So we all gotta, sorry about that. We all gotta lose weight in this house for sure. But yeah, I'm thinking about putting on a witchy weekend sometime. I don't know when because October is super busy. I'm thinking maybe November. I'm not sure. Give us time to they can stay in their crates when I'm out and about. Just need a dog friendly hotel or something. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. And I don't know if so I have a couple of ideas and some feelers out there. Um, for where I want to hold the Airbnb witchy weekend. The one we stayed at, the Mash, is really good, but I don't know. I kind of want to just stay in some other Airbnbs, but we'll see. We'll see. We're planning on that. It's in the works right now. So full moon. What did you get? What did you do? Anything special for the full moon? I thought that was really interesting that WitchCon was around the full moon. I don't know if they planned that or not. I'm itching today. It's dry here. It's cold here today. It's in the 30s. Um, so yeah, we're going to talk about moon, what's coming up for classes here that I'm going to be hosting, just general chit chat. So, hey Melanie, how are you? Thanks for hanging out with us. We're talking about the full moon. Did anybody do anything special on the full moon? I'm going to pull some cards. So some people work with the full moon or the moon cycle. Some people don't. I started off doing I'm working with moon cycles, but I'm a little bit weird about how I work with moon cycles. Um, Usually now it's the full moon, right? It's the worm moon, and worm moon is about road opening work. That's really good. That's perfect. I love that. And it's a super moon. I believe it's a super moon. Um, and it's a full moon in Virgo. So Virgos are always about doing things right, getting started. It's always about getting ahead of the curve. So embracing productivity, getting organized, setting your goals. That's the kind of energy for this full moon. It's the worm moon. So the reason why they call it the worm moon is because the Earth, Mama Gaia, is starting to defrost. So now the worms are starting to come out of their slumber and they're starting to wiggle their way up. So that's why they call it a worm moon. Worm full moon. Hello, English. Need more coffee. For the full moon, I think I released some BS. Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about that, Jen, because for the new moon, you said you manifested an improvement to my tarot business, and it's definitely picked up. Yay. Isn't it funny how when you do the spiritual stuff around or the magical stuff around your spiritual business, how it really helps? Go figure, right? Law of attraction, putting the spell work up. You're like, oh, that shit works. You're like, yeah, it works. Asking you shall receive, right? Do the magical work around your business, and you'll get lots of clients around it. And you'll see the fruition. It's kind of funny. People in the spiritual business, they forget to do that. They forget to do the magical workings around your spiritual business and the rituals and the road opening and anointing your hands with oils and all that kind of stuff. They forget about that. But that's very important, especially with spiritual businesses. You have to do the magical workings. You have to do rituals. That's my money altar right there. If you guys can see it over there. And yeah, that's my money altar, my business altar. So what else? So talk about the full moon. Yeah, talk about what you do for the full moon. So Jen works a little bit different with the energy of the full moon. She does releasing, right, Jen? You do releasing. I don't do releasing on the full moon. I do, and majority of people do releasing on the full moon. I don't. I amplify things on the full moon. I release on the dark moon. Yeah, Jen said, yeah, she does. And it took me a long time to figure out that personal formula for me because, and this is what I teach also to my students is create the magic that works for you best. Get your foundations together. Yeah, Melanie says amplify. And then tweak what works for you. What's going to work for me is not going to work for Jen or not going to work for Melanie. It's not going to work for, whoever. Get the foundational work, but then tweak it. It's like follow the rules and then break the rules that work for you. There are no rules in magic, pretty much, right? Just foundational work, and then you tweak it to what works for you. I use the new moon to start new things, also manifestation kind of stuff. The full moon to amplify any work, and also the dark moon to release. And a lot of people forget about the dark moon. It's right before the new moon, 24 hours before the new moon. So that's when I do my releasing work. But it's funny because I haven't had to do any releasing work for a while. So I'm feeling pretty zen right now. So for the full moon yesterday, well, it was energy of the full moon. I wanted to make sure that I got some stuff planning done before, so we could sit in the windowsill and get the energy of the full moon. So yesterday I started in the garden. I started planting my mushrooms. I've got pink oysters growing. I started those. Jen said I usually use the dark moon to super kick my manifestations. Awesome. See how Jen does, she's been witching for a very long time like I have. So she knows what to do and what not to do. So, and she's made her own special magical sauce. So, but see how that works for Jen, but it probably may not work for me. But that's part of creating your own special magic, right? So super kick your manifestations. That's interesting. And so I went ahead and planted my mushrooms. I'm going to start growing fungi. And I started my seedlings for my garden inside. So that is what I did for the full moon, because I want to amplify the plants. I want to amplify growth. I want to amplify prosperity for my garden. This is the first year I've had a chance to actually plant a garden in a very long time, because I lived in Texas before I moved here in Missouri. And before then, I lived in the South where the soil was amazing. I grew everything in the South. It's very abundant. But in Texas, you can't grow shit. So I miss planting my garden. So this year, I'm planting gardens and herbs and flowers. And so that's what I did on the full moon yesterday. Is I went ahead and started the seedlings inside, and I placed them on the windowsill so they will get the energy of the full moon. And Jen said, I work with a dark goddess, so maybe that's why I'm back. Yeah. Back asswards, exactly. I love the dark goddesses. I'm still working with Lilith. I always work with Lilith. I always work with Lilith. And Jen said, man, I wish I could do a garden. You have to have a permit in town? What? That's crazy. Melanie says she doesn't work with the dark moon. That's crazy that you have to have a permit to have a garden. Out of all the places I've lived, I have never ever had to have a permit to start a garden. That is ridiculous. That's super ridiculous. I think there's ways around that though. There are ways that you can plant things without having to dig up the earth, right? Maybe that's what that it is. They don't like have big, I don't know, tools out there and machinery. I don't see why you can't put a whole bunch of, they have these big round black kind of bags that you just dump dirt in there and plant in there instead of actually digging in the ground. So maybe you want to try that. So I'm super excited about that. Can't wait to see what happens. I'll keep you posted on that. And excited about that. What else? So who needs a card? So remember we talked about it being in Virgo. We pull some new some full moon cards. And tomorrow, don't forget to join me live. We're going to be talking about copy for all your spiritual entrepreneurs out there, how to write compelling copy. And on that note, don't forget to sign up for my 4-hour VIP intensive that's coming up on spiritual business. We're going to talk about your offers. We're going to carve out your offers. We're going to talk about pricing. We're going to talk about a strategy to get those clients in. We're going to write your copy together. So that's a 4-hour group intensive. And this is, we talked about the energy of the full moon. So this is why I wanted, to talk to you about the full moon in Virgo, because it's all about new opportunities and coming out of, being frozen, or, the coming out of what I call like hibernation, right? So if you're working on a spiritual business and you need help with your copy, your offers, your pricing strategy to get those clients, that is the place you need to sign up for. It is a live intensive, group intensive. We will spend 4 hours together pulling cards, doing some meditation, mindset work, and also you'll get 3 workbooks, your offers, copy, and I think the other one is something else I hadn't decided yet. Maybe your ideal client. Maybe that's what we're working on. I'm not sure. So sign up for that, and I will put that link in there. It is, my internet might be freaking out. I'll post that in there. You might be able to post it you might be able to see it in the description, but I'll post that in there. It's $333 for the first 3 people, and after that, it goes back to $444. So this is a full moon special for $333. You spend 4 hours with me, VIP intensive. where you get to carve out all of your cool stuff. This is a very good time to sign up for that. Like I said, it's the Virgo and the full moon. Yay! So yeah, tomorrow. Join me tomorrow. Melanie said, big changes hopefully coming. Yes, card please. Perfect. So sign up for that. I'm going to see if I can pull up. My internet's a little bit slow because I got so much stuff running in the background. All right, Jen, would you like a card also? Let's talk about Melanie. Melanie, do you have a spiritual business? And I am pulling from the Sacred Travelers Oracle. I love this this Oracle deck. Okay, Melanie said yes. All right, so let's pull. I've got some tarot cards. I joined the Hay House Tarot Card Club, so I should be getting those today. Super excited about that. Oh, you had 2 brick and mortar stores. I want to start a brick and mortar store here. We don't have one here. It's a smaller town. It's about 78,000 people. But I don't want to be tied down to a store. I know how that is. Now travel all over. That's what I want to do. Me and you need to talk about the ins and outs of owning a store, because it's not what everybody thinks. It's all candy canes and lollipops and what you see in the movies about owning your own store and your own storefront and own spiritual business and in person. And it's not. It's a lot of work. Yep. It's not. That Hollywood makes it look like it's fun and rainbows and glitter and happiness, and it's not. The brick and mortar is a lot of work and bills. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, had them for about 8 years. Interesting. Yeah, we all of us like just need to get together and do just like monthly business masterminds, right? And talk about spiritual businesses. I think that's what we need to do. All right, so let's pull one for Melanie, and then we'll pull one for Jen. I love that you're traveling all over, Melanie. That's one of the goals that I want to do. I've become such a little homebody now since I bought my house. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I feel. And here's the thing why I don't want to do it is because I would have to be ultra super rich in order for me to just hire someone full time to manage the store while I go around and just do my own thing. And that ain't happening because I don't want to be tied down to the store. Oh, that's so bad. All right, Melanie, let's see what we got going on. So we have ascending the mountain, keep going forward. So in your spiritual business, this is about spiritual business, right? This is what we're talking about. Jen said, yep, we need a part-time person, and that's proving interesting. Yeah, good luck. I know that's why I'm like, I'm just out. Maybe I'll just do a traveling. What I really wanted to do is get one of those old Vardo wagons and just trick it out and put it in the square, and people would just come up for tarot readings, or people would just come in and buy stuff. Instead of having an actual brick and mortar, I would just have a Vardo. So that was one of my things until I found out how much those things cost. So the universe is not in favor of me doing anything like that. So this is what we have for Melanie, for your spiritual business. So your spiritual business is about to ascend. You've had some trials and some tribulations, some mountains that you've had to climb. Sorry for the nails, y'all. I gotta redo my nails. The universe is telling you to keep going. Don't stop. I know there's been times, especially recently, where you've just been exhausted. You wanted to quit, and you just wanted to like shut down and just like, I'm done. Burnout, I'm feeling for you, and it's a lot. So the universe is saying, make sure you keep going, power through. And I know people hate telling spiritual people to power through, but sometimes that's what we have to do to be successful. And I talk about that, about in order to be successful in a spiritual business, you can't have the cards dictate to you what you should do in your spiritual business. If your spiritual business says, hey, you need a hermit mode, you can't hermit mode all day long. You have to do the spiritual work, you have to do the client work, and then you can, hermit mode the rest of the day. But you have to persevere, you have to push through it, you have to show up every day, you have to do the hard work. And that's where you're at right now, is pushing through those blocks and ascending to the highest good of yourself and the highest mountain. It's almost like you're on this journey in your spiritual business, and also in your personal business too, because I always feel that spiritual business and personal business and personal life, sorry about that, are connected. If you don't feel good, if your body is not moving, then your business is going to be stagnant too. Does that make sense? Yeah, I feel that. So I like this one for you. So you're about to go on a big, huge journey. Uphill battle, you've gone through those. Um, just make sure that you take breaks. Don't feel like you have to do this in like 1 week or 3 months or whatever, right? This is a long journey for you. You have to take breaks. You have to um, create what I call micro goals for you, okay, in your spiritual business, because you're here and then your goals are way over here, right? That's what the universe wants you to be. So you have to take little spiritual breaks and celebrate the small wins for you, so don't get overwhelmed. So keep going, and don't get overwhelmed. Persevere. Feel like I'm going to break now? Yeah, do it. We all need breaks, especially when we're doing spiritual work and seeing clients and readings and sessions. We need to take that time for ourselves. I need to get moving again. Yeah, me too. I started doing, oh my gosh, energy work, Chinese energy work. And that seems to help a lot too. But we have a mall here. I call it a dead mall. There's really nothing in there. And then what they usually do is, I see a lot when I go in there, because they have this really good Chinese restaurant. Go figure. And so I see a lot of people just using that mall, walking around. So that's one of the ways you can do, especially since it's cold here and we have snow and everything. So you're not going to be going outside, and you're not going to want to go out there. But yeah, that's how your mall is too. And I hate that, because I feel like I have so much vision for stuff. I was like, you could turn that whole entire mall into an apartment community, right? And just turn those little shops into living quarters or apartments, and then everybody would have a food court. You could bring businesses in there. You could have retail shops in there. So I'm like, you wouldn't even really have to go anywhere. So you have a little grocery store put in there. I have visions. I have a big plan, but and that way it will help with the housing situation. But that's another way. Let's just start walking. All right, so let's pull Jen a card for the spiritual business. Everybody's on a path this time. So this is about choosing your path, and all is possible. So the universe is telling you to think bigger, go bigger. I know you're kind of just sitting there trying to look at the bigger picture and what your business looks like, and taking inventory, or you're taking a break and just like, what do I want to do? But the universe is telling you to think more globally and expansion. And they're also telling me to tell you to watch what you say, watch your words. And so you want to switch some of the wording around what you're saying. So everything is possible. Are you putting that out into the universe, like speaking at wish God? Yes, exactly. And so really putting the fear monster behind you, and thinking and speaking on a more global energy and attracting that. Um, so what do you want to attract, or what do you want to do that you feel that you can't do? Everything is possible. Because I talked about the brick and mortar, and I talked about all those other kind of stuff, paranormal events that I'm putting on this year also. And I want to be. I'm probably looking at getting my travel certification, travel agent certification. I'm thinking about doing that because I want to start traveling and bringing witches and paranormal people together, and do destinations. Um, so you have to think bigger, right? And are you asking the big, huge wants from the universe? Or are you just thinking small, like in your town or in your state kind of thing? So now is the time, if you're doing your manifestation work today, which is the full moon, now is the time to think about putting out there and saying, I am open, universe, to all the opportunities that you want me to do and that are given to me. I am open to all opportunities. All right. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense with the words. No more can't, no more I wish. I hate that word. It is I want, I do, I will. It will happen. You have to be very specific. There's no more wishy washy with your words. This goes for everybody in your spiritual business and how you're dealing with the full moon, right? If you're using full moon to manifest, you have to be specific and you have to actually um, say, tell the universe what you want. That makes so much sense. Yeah. The imposter syndrome is getting strong with me lately. The thing with the imposter syndrome that helps me is to write down all the accomplishments that you have done in your life, in your spiritual business or personal life, and what you've overcome. Because I guarantee you, I know I've been working with you with, you've been in my container for a long, long time. You have tons of knowledge, lots of knowledge that you can share with other people, right? So write down everything that you've accomplished and write down everything that you're proud of and everything that you can share. Um, and I usually keep that on my sticky notes in the mirror or something like that. Or if that's coming up for me, then I have to redo that. Okay. Because the reality is the imposter syndrome is just our ego, our inner child trying to keep us safe, right? Which is what their job is, right? But you can't let your ego take control of the reality, because then the reality is that you have tons of knowledge, you've overcome a lot of stuff, you have a lot of stuff to share, you put hours and hours and hours into studying this craft, right? um, so you have to actually put that stuff on paper so your brain can actually process the physical thing of seeing it and writing it. And then you can say, oh, well, that's bullshit, that's not true. Why do I think that? Right? But you can't do it unless you visually see it written down. Right? And then you'll just be like, well, I don't know why I thought that of myself, because that's not true. And then cross it out and do a releasing ceremony on it. I taught a class. See, you're already teaching classes. I remembered you said you were teaching classes. Taught a class Saturday at the store, was answering questions and kept thinking, am I really qualified to tell these people things? LOL. Yeah, you're completely qualified. Because here's the thing. The universe wants to open the path for everybody to be successful. If the universe didn't put you in that position, then they wouldn't have opened up that path to you. If the universe thinks that you are not ready, then that opportunity wouldn't be presented to you. The universe does not want you to fail. The universe wants you to step up. The universe wants you to be the most powerful you. And the universe wants you to bring women together. I work with women. Majority of some people don't have a preference. I specifically work with women. And sometimes, here's the thing. Sometimes you don't have to teach a class. Sometimes you just have to be the gatherer of women, putting events together, or doing a full moon circle for women, or releasing ceremony, or healing. It doesn't have to necessarily be a class, right? Then I had to remind myself I'm a high priest and remember who the fuck exactly. You need to get that dark goddess energy back again, that fierce energy. So when you need fierce energy, I usually embody the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Swords in my business. The archetype. All right. So does that help everybody? Hoping that helps. So don't forget to sign up for my 4-hour VIP day that's coming up. It is on the new moon. I wanted to start on the new moon because, like I said, I do all my business stuff according to the moon cycles. So it is on the new moon. Sign up for that. This is kind of sort of how I teach, right? Very much personal, very much relaxed. And so if you're thinking about offers, if you're thinking about how to do online stuff, I've been doing online content business stuff before even COVID hit. So I've been doing this for a long time. So when everybody was freaking out about, oh my God, how am I going to take my business online? I don't know anything about Zoom. I don't know anything about copy. I don't know how to call my ideal clients in. I've been doing it way before COVID. I've been doing this for a long time. So I'm going to drop a link with that in that. My internet's still not pulling it up. And for the first 3 people, it's $333. You'll get all the workshops. You get a replay. You'll get all the PDFs, all the workbooks. We're going to work on your offers. We're going to work on what you want to sell. We're going to work on the copy. We're going to work on strategy to sell it and start making money. And this is the perfect opportunity for you to take advantage of this full moon energy to bring to fruition what you want to do, right? So we can actually carve out stuff for the next 3 months for you. All right. So $333 for the first 3 people. After that, it goes up to $444. And then that is on the new moon, March 20th. March 20th, I think, is a new moon. Okay. So today's a full moon. Work on full moon rituals. Post in the group if you have any full moon rituals you want to share or any aha moments or what you did. And if you have any questions about joining the VIP day, send me a message and let's just have a chat about it. Okay. All right, everyone. Happy full moon. And don't forget, tomorrow is Witchy Wisdom. I'm going to go live and we're going to talk about copy. All right, everyone. Enjoy your full moon.